Hey and today we are going to see one game. This game is played between Karjakin and Anand from 2006. This is an interesting game. Some people say this is Anand's immortal, and some people say this is not. Yeah, he had 2 billion games in his whole career. Yeah, which are very good. First is this one, Anand versus Karjakin versus Anand 2006, and second is Aronian versus Anand 2013. Both games were played with black. Nice coincidence. And in this game is very good. He first finded this game was a Nasdorf, and then he found a incredible novelty which led to black's superiority in this position. So we'll see all. Let's hop into the game. The game started d4. Our Sicilian. Let's go. Knight f3 and now d6. d4, cd4, knight d4, knight f6, knight c3, and now this is interesting position. Here black has several tries in the open Sicilian. One is the dragon, one of the most complex openings in all over chess. Then second is the Scandinavian. Okay, it is not like it is very rarely an opening on its own. Like it very majorly transposes to other ones. And another one is knight c6, the classical variation. Very positional approach to the open Sicilian. And another one is a6, the one of the most sharpest variations. d6 is one of the most sharpest, and a6, the Nasdorf, is one of the most theoretical variations in whole of chess. This can be called, and this variation is so big, it can be called, and it is bigger. Its theory is bigger than many openings. So after a6, bishop e3 was played. e5, attacking the knight. This bishop e3 is the English attack. More tries are bishop g5 and h3 there is, and there is the Fischer-Sozin bishop c4 and many others. But in this game bishop e3 e5 was played, and now knight b3. Now, speaking a few words, this is a very double-edged position. Bishop e6 is the best move here. Queen d2, bishop e7. If white goes with the slow pawn like bishop e7, short castle, black is absolutely fine. Black is threatening the d5 break, and position is fine, but position is the sharpest when white plays the double-edged approach to queen e2. Now things are heating up. Bishop e7, long castle, short castle, and now, well, there's a twist in the theory. Thing is that after e5 there's a nuance. After knight b3 and bishop e6. Yeah, first white plays f3, very important nuance in all of Sicilian, and especially systems like where white goes bishop e3, queen d2, long castle, f3, very important move. If you just go queen d2, now instead of bishop e7, black has strong move knight g4. Now thing is that I want to exchange your bishop, and knight bd7 is also an option. Black is very flexible here. So, that's why f3 is the best move, giving some support to the e4 pawn and getting the g4 square, bishop e7, queen d2, short castle, long castle, and now knight b d7. Now things are heating up. This is a very double-edged position, though it not seem like at the first glance, but things are going to heat up very soon. g4. Now now white is threatening to go g5, and who says defend, counter attack, b5. Both sides start the attack. Now g5. Now the key in these type of opposite castle positions is that you have to hurry with your attack. You cannot just play slowly and build your attack. You have to hurry, but sometimes you can in exception build your attack, and then but you have to hurry. Like you are playing this h4, h5, bishop e2, f4, f5, then g5, then g6, and in the queen side black will be like b4, a5, a4, then rook c8, queen a5, b3, and game over, and knight c5 is running. So that's why you have to act fast. g5. Now as I said, wasting time is very bad. So here knight e8 or knight h5 is nothing, because we don't go backwards, we only go forwards. b4. Nice move. Now knight e2 was played. Thing is that if you take, I take, and then you continue, c into d2 check, and now sadly white is losing his queen. So that's why after g into f6 takes, f into e7 is bad, and queen into c3 to f6, and black obtains a very good position. So that's why after knight e2, here it is played knight e8, and now after knight e8 we are attacking, we are putting pressure on the g5 pawn and just going back. Now f4. Now thing is that if you take, and yeah, a5 was played, double-edged to play, we cannot defend. If e into f4, this is bad, because after bishop into f4 you will get a strategically weak pawn on d6, and once white grabs that center pawn, it's game over for black. So it's bad to take a5, and now you might notice that after f5 our bishop is trapped. Yes, now actually it's not technically trapped, but white's attack is super fast. Now thing is that if you move your bishop, a4 was played. If you move your bishop somewhere, you don't have the time. Like it's coming knight g3, h4, h5, g6, and you are crushed there. So a4. Now we don't go backwards and threatening the knight. If f into e6, then a into b3, e into f7 check, rook into f7 results in very bad positions. After a into b3 is just rook a1 is mate, and if c into b3, then rook into a2, and it's very bad for white. So that's why after a4, f into e6 is bad. Now there's a very we can say subtle move, but pretty hard to spot. Knight b d4. It's like the desperado tactic, we can say. We have to give material, but we give in our way. So bishop into d4, knight into d4, taking account that the bishop is still trapped. If you be smart and take here on e2, thing is that you are getting knight c6. What a move! Queen c7, and then you take, and you are just bad. So after knight into d4, now bishop into a2 is not an option. b3, very typical crusher move on the queen side. both the pawns, and now again very hard move to spot. What will you play as white? King b1, and you will be like, oh my god, how can they find this on the board? No, this is all theory, seriously. This variation, and not only this, we will continue. This variation is all matched off theory. You can imagine how crazy it is. And it's just the starting. B into c2, knight into c2, yeah. And now what will you play? The bishop is trapped, and black's a piece up, but he will be soon equal in a few moves. But now again comes the desperado bishop to b3. An amazing move, and very hard to spot move, but still this is all theory here. Watch this. 1-3-1-8 games played here. A into b3, knight a3 forced, or else you drop the file, and now knight e5. The knight goes forward. What was that? The knight goes forward, and now black has plans of knight f3, and the queen can be activated, and many such plans. So h4 was played. Now what to play? Well, it may look nice to play something like queen to knight to c7, black versus h5, and you may not want to play this position as black, because it seems like black is just doomed here. h5 d6 is coming, and black has no attack. d5 is just a pure pawn. Knight f3 is nothing dangerous for white, and everything's bad. But suddenly this rook a5 move comes, and very hard move to spot, but still all theory here. Many games, like 800 some games are in the database. Queen c3. Now logical move, attacking the b3 pawn and maintaining pressure. Bishop d2 can go. Rook d5 is a positional threat to exchange the attacker. Now queen a8, a very good move. It's a battery on the a file, potential threat, yeah. And the thing is that you can't take here because of queen into e4 check. What a motive, like queen 8, queen into e4, geometrical motive, nice. So now if you go somewhere, I just pick off this rook and you are doomed. So that's why after queen c3, queen e8, bishop g2, and now it's time for the ultimate thing, the novelty I talked about in the previous in the first minutes of the video. Now comes the move, knight to c7. I don't know if that was his home preparation, like engine is showing knight c7 only way to keep advantage, all other ways are not good, yeah. Like the engine is also suggesting knight f6. So you will be, what is the idea of this just plain knight, nothing compensation, nothing. But the thing is that after queen into c7, everything, we have many attackers here. The queen and rook are, and b3 pawn are just doing great. But if this rook joins, then it's potential, then it's made, then the king cannot survive. So we need to bring this with tempo. Remember, white's attack is very fast, all the pawns are here. So here knight b5 is coming, and then rook a1 is just for checkmate. White took on c7, and now what will you do? Rook to c8, another sacrifice, just about bringing the rook into the game. Black is doing such brilliant moves. I wonder this is this cannot be home preparation. How he finded such moves on his own. What a brilliance. Yeah. And I want to attract your attention to something interesting. All the games were played after all the games on this knight c7 super novelty were played after this game, like 2006 one. Yeah, like two games were played in the same month, and two games after it, so it was just inspired. So now rook c8, queen into e7 was played, and now knight to c4. The killer comes. Now all the pieces are under attack. No way white survives. Now d6, white isn't stopping. White has the counter attack, and black has to rush because white's coming like g into f7 check, and very dangerous threats out there. To look out for the pesky threats. So h into g6. Black is just playing only moves out here. H into g6, only move to keep advantage. Knight into a3 even draws, and even rook into a3 loses. So h into g6, f into g6, and now according to the engine it's just bad. Knight into a3 check, obvious move, takes. Now thing is that we don't even care about the f7 pawn, nothing will happen there, and something is happening here. Rook a1 check, and then queen a2 is a checkmate. So king in g to f7, and optimistic, and as always optimistic engine. The engine gives 62.6 advantage to black. King h7, f8 is equal to knight check. These grandmasters are like, they never resign. They play until their last hope. So f8 is equal to knight check. Rook into f8. This was played in the vain hope of deflecting the vicious attacker on c8 to f8. So queen into f8, a desperate trying to give the queen for the better good of white. But it's like when you have when you have drawn such a painting, then you can't you can't draw terrible on its last stroke. So of course someone can see that queen into f8 is very bad. I mean, it's 2 winning. I mean, the killer attack compensates, but rook a1 check is just finish. King b2, rook a2 check, king c3, queen a5 check, king d3, and now queen b5 check. King d4 was played. If king c3, then it leads to rook c2 check, king goes to d4, and queen c5 is a mate. So that's why in the game king d4 was played. Rook a4 check, king has to go to c3, queen c4 check, and well, sad news, white had to resign. Now white just resigned here, because thing is that wherever you go it's mate. King b2 met by rook a2 check, king b1, queen c2 is mate, and king d2 met by rook a2 check, king e1, and queen e2 is again mate. So this was the amazing game. So what are the takeaways from this game? Number one, there's a tip for you. If you want to learn just openings, then never learn the Nasdaq unless you are, I think, 2000 plus. This theory is just mind blowing. This bishop b3, this move, this is theory. Then this knight b4 and king b1, mind blowing move. There's this knight c7 move, now it's theory now. Then rook c8 and then this all like 25 moves we can discount of this game as theory, and the actual game was only played like 14 moves. But this theory is mind blowing and beautiful at the same time. So, well, the takeaways from this game are that sometimes to get a piece into the attack or defense, or to get a piece somewhere, we have to be very fast, or else the opponent has a very has a chance of getting us before we get him. So we have to get it very fast, and that can be used by the clearance tactic. Clearance tactic is a motive when you get a piece to the side and then with tempo remove it from the square that we want, so we can get in tempo. So these are the takeaways from the game. I hope you like this video. For to just bell icon. Thank you.